So I'm an architect. Well, technically I'm an architect in training. This is my second year of college learning and studying the field of architecture. But as an architect, I feel like I can give a different perspective about these Lego BrickLink designer sets, which are going to be coming out within the next 24 hours. So if you don't know what they are, the BrickLink designer sets are a limited run set. They run these every single year. Now, for this year though, there are going to be 4 waves. And today we're going to talk about the first wave within that. Pre-orders do start tomorrow, but I do think there is another launch of them online only. It basically works is every 1,000 pre-orders, there's 10,000 made. So if there's 3,000 pre-orders, there's 30,000 copies of the set made. But these are a very exclusive limited run series. But some of these builds are absolutely incredible for the BrickLink designer run-up this year. So we're going to be diving into those today. But first, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Every sub does help. And hey, if you sub to me, you're actually getting someone who knows something about building and architecture instead of someone who doesn't really understand the finer details of these buildings. So let's get into it without further ado. So taking a deeper dive into the snack shack, I really like this one, but not for $50. I really like the smooth curvature of the roof. I think this looks exactly like a chore. I actually watched the designer video about this one, and the guy said he saw this on a beach and he really wanted to recreate it in Lego, so this is basically that. However, there's really not too much architecture about it, and there's not much more insight I can really give, except for the fact that this is a very good use of adaptive reuse. Now, what is adaptive reuse? Adaptive reuse is when you're taking something that's part of an old structure and then adding something onto it to make it new. This is something the architects like to do a lot because it saves a lot of money on building costs overall, because part of the building is already built. What used to be a char but has been converted into this really nice diner, and I really like it for that reason. But for $50, I'm not going to be picking this one up. Okay, so taking a look at this second one right here, this is the general store, and I didn't really like it at first. I thought I had no need for it in my collection, which I still kind of feel that way about it. However, I've really started to take a closer look at it, and I really started to like it. So for this one of the things I really like about it is the amount of sheathing and detail that's inside of the structure. Like you can see, there's some amazing siding. Damn, I'm really forgetting to explain what these things are. Okay, so siding is basically the side of the building. So basically when you have like a piece of wood that goes over another piece of wood like this, it's that. But in this set is executed phenomenally. I love how they executed that. I don't think any Lego set has done it this well so far. I also really like the use of the lamp pieces, and this is just some really beautiful building techniques. I mean, it's nothing great in the sense of architectural build, it's just a square building in the general sense, but I mean, I really do like the build details they got going on here. Even that rocking chair detail looks absolutely incredible. One more thing I really do like about this set is the wood flooring detail. I think having the cracks by using those vent pieces look great, and the amount of stuff they have in this door. And the nice addition to this set, which is not really needed to have, but they did anyways, is they included a little wagon, which I think the build for is actually rather good with the curved pieces. I think that serves very good as like a tarp piece instead of using something like cloth, which would be way too expensive since Lego can't seem to give cloth to clone troopers. But I mean, I also really like the horses too, but I mean, overall, I really like this set. I'm not going to pick it up myself just because I don't really have the budget for it or the need for it in Lego City. However, if you're really into the Western frontier, I would say this is a must for you. I think this is one of the best Western sets that Lego has ever made, so I would highly recommend getting this set if you were thinking about it. Out of all these, the BrickLink designer sets, I think this is my favorite one. This is the old engine train shed, and I really like this one for quite a few reasons. I was watching the designer video determining whether I should get this set, and she said that it actually was designed to fit the Emerald Knight, which is one of the most popular Lego trains ever made, which is something I currently do not have in my collection. I hope to own it one day. Taking a look at this set, this is something that I think the Lego group should have done a long time ago. The last time we got a train shed was like in the year 2000, and that thing looks really rough. But this is a much more beautiful version of it that takes up the span of 2 Lego green base plates, which is a pretty big train shed. So make sure, if you don't have a lot of space in your Lego city like me, make sure you actually can fit in your city before buying it, because this thing is absolutely massive. However, there are a few flaws with it, which has been recognized from several train fans, such as the way that the train tracks have been set in the ways of height. It doesn't work very well in the terms of nose plates. So if you were to raise this thing, and then you were to raise it again for the track, it wouldn't equal the right amount of studs to connect a regular Lego train track. So it would take a lot of mining to add to your Lego city. Now I'm sure, yes, several people will be mining it to add to their Lego cities. I know I will be for sure. However, for people who do Mills plates, it's rather complicated to do something like this. So make sure you're aware of that before buying it. And I just want to say from an architectural perspective that this set is absolutely stunning. I really like how it was made. The symmetrical on either side is absolutely beautiful, and I really love that electric post. Like, man, that is such a good build for that. There's just so much to love about this set. I could go about it for hours. But on the inside, there is a little crane that moves back and forth along the whole thing, which is very accurate to train sheds in real life. So you can take the engine out and move it around. And the designer interview for this absolutely sold me on this set when I heard that I could fit the Emerald Knight, which is something I talked about 3 times in this video because it's just such a cool feature that I can actually do that. But I highly recommend you pick up this set because I think this is going to be one of the most popular sets in the whole wave of the BrickLink designer set. Okay, this one is called the Parisian Streets. And I gotta say, I'm in love with this. I really think this is quite a beautiful Lego modular building in a sense. It's not a modular building though because it doesn't have a back and there's no technic pins to connect anything to it anywhere. You can line it up with other Lego modulars, but it doesn't work like a Lego modular just because it's on a half base plate instead of a full base plate and the back is exposed. Now I think I would have picked this set up if it was still $319 and had a backside. I don't think it's worth the value. I still do think it's worth the value. However, the problem is I would have to buy 2 of these to make it work to cover the backside, and that would be a total of $600, which is something I would really not want to spend on a set that's only 2 base plates in length. That's the size of the train shed, which I feel is a much better set than this set overall. This set is very pretty and there's obviously a lot of detail and time that went into it. Something that almost sold me on the set though is that this set was actually made by a graduate in architecture, which means he actually focused on the stone facade on the outside and the metallic roofs that were used in Parisian buildings at the time. And the nice rounded arches that they have going over here. It all is very charming and sweet. And I would love to see someone put this next to the Lego Modular Parisian restaurant that came out in 2011 because I think this would look absolutely beautiful. Taking a look at the interior of the set, I think there's a lot of rooms. It feels like a little Hogwarts castle though, just because of how curved all of them are on the inside. Like this feels like the interior of the Hogwarts castle, not the actual facade of it, of course, obviously. I do really like the rooms that are built into this. I mean, it looks good, but for $319, I'm just not going to be able to pick this one up due to the fact that it doesn't have a completed backside, and I would probably just buy 2 of them and put them back to back, and then I would be absolutely broke because that is $600 and that is kind of insane to spend on this kind of modular building in some sorts of a sense. And it would be a lot of modding, and I don't like to mod sets too often unless they really need improvements. Okay, this is the last BrickLink designer set. This is the Mountain Fortress for $379. Now, I really like this castle for a few reasons, other than the fact that it's a Black Falcon castle. Look at that. Like, this is the component to the Lioness castle that came out from Lego, which is something that's going to get a lot of attention from these Black Falcon Knights fans. I like classic castle stuff, but I'm not the biggest fan of it, and I'm not going to drop $379 about this. But let's talk about the architecture of this. I feel like this is a very Gothic style type building in a sense. I mean, it's not really Gothic because Gothic refers to chapels and churches, but the way that this window is laid out feels very strong, very dark, and it feels very Gothic in that sense. And I really do like how all these little crosses are filled out. They're very beautiful. I've seen these in a lot of designs before, and I really think this is quite a beautiful castle with that amazing little water feature that goes down there. I really do like this. In the ways of the fences though, this is very poorly planned. I feel like this would be very easy to infiltrate and just go over that wall. I mean, it just from logistics, this seems like a very easy to penetrate castle. I mean, that's all I'm saying. But let's take a look at the backside. So taking a look at the backside right here, it is open again, but you can close it from the looks of it. You see these hinge pieces, so it can be one complete structure, which honestly I think looks really nice. And I hope my friend does get this set so that hopefully I can take a look at in person, because this is absolutely stunning. I really like the detail that they used for the stairs right here. I'm glad they didn't tile it off. I feel like castles are supposed to be more rough, and I feel like the designer of this set executed this perfectly. I really do like the rooms. They feel a little barren in some respects, but most castles were very, barren in the sense, and I think that adds a real sense of charm to this set. There's even a nice area where you can store horses from what it looks to be, and a nice kitchen down there, and I think that's another kitchen. I'm not 100% sure, but this is a really nice set. It comes with also a horse over here. If you guys were curious, it does come with one, so you guys should be very happy about that. Although it doesn't have the beautiful black falcon knight skin that goes over it, which goes for a ton of money on BrickLink. So that would have been nice if that was included, but I think this set is definitely worth your... So those are all 5 of the BrickLink designer sets that are coming out within the next 24 hours. Please down below in the comments type the word ARC, which stands for ARC, down below if you actually enjoyed this video and made it to this point, because that shows me A, you're a true fan, and B, you really enjoy the kind of content, because I'm not 100% sure if you guys are going to like this type of Lego / architectural content. I thought it'd be rather fun to do, since Lego and architect go hand in hand with each other. That's why I became an architect, is because of my love of Lego. But let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comments. I will not be stopping any other videos on the channel to produce this kind of content. It will just be an addition to the other content you see in the channel. So let me know if you enjoyed that down below. And without further ado, I'm going to end up the video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace out and goodbye.